So this is a movie that was recommended to me after watching or after reacting to Zulu. So we got Bridge on the River Kwai. I've been told this is a fictionalized account of events, but it's a very good movie nonetheless. So, yeah, let's watch it, shall we? I wonder where this was shot at. All this greenery, and it's very much. I mean, it was there in one of the Pacific Islands. This happened, so it's a lot of dead folks. Is that all POWs they've got on in that train car right there? Seems so. I mean, that's... Bro, they are absolutely just tiny. Skin and bones. And that's... Bro, that's very much... Got Gatling guns not only up top, but also there at the front as they're coming into... Looks like where they're building this railroad spot. They've got a mass of people. They've got enough people that whatever they're wanting to accomplish, as long as they can keep them alive, they've got the manpower, that's for sure.
Those new prisoners see us digging graves, they might all run away.
No time for jokes. Finish well.
Go on, have heart, Captain. Put us in hospital.
You no sick?
Captain, turn him up.
How about a butt? When a man gives me something from the goodness of his heart, like, I want you to keep this lighter.
What kind of... Okay, so... Definitely is some kind of rapport. Now, it's not like the normal rapport you would have. It's captive with the captor. And probably a lot of it born out of... probably equal parts fear, rebelliousnness, and, you know, trying to stay alive. Because that's, you know, the ultimate goal if you're a POW. But also ulterior, you know, definitely ulterior motives, but probably also try to take and at least have some kind of good graces with a dude.
Okay, you go on the sick list. Him too.
One of these days, Colonel Saito's gonna catch you bribing him. Then where'll we be?
Whistling while they work. Okay. That's going to be one of those things to where you're going to hear that if you've been there for a while. You got these, I guess, fresh POWs that are coming through there. That's going to probably... Yeah, that's probably got to be a little bit like, shut up, you don't know what you're in for type deal. Because they're just whistling and everything as they're coming through.
Be a busy pair of grave diggers, Weaver.
Hold on.
That colonel doesn't know what he's in for. You gonna tell him the truth, Commander?
Of course not.
Okay, how many Japanese are there? That's my question. How many Japanese are there? Because you seem to have a whole lot more POWs than Japanese. And I understand the Japanese have guns, including Gatling guns, but starting to take in, like, how does the dynamic here work? Because you're getting them, like, they're all in formation and everything like that. Is it all self-preservation? Or, like, seems like got enough people that are able-bodied that you might try to take and rush some guards or something with some guns. Even if they take a few of you, you take and get your hands on some guns. I don't know. Because just by this, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of Japanese that are guarding. But then again, the Japanese were very brutal anytime they took POWs, or a lot of times they took POWs and just like the force, like the death march there in Bataan. So, all right.
In the name of His Imperial Majesty, you British prisoners have been chosen to build a bridge, and officers will work as well as men. If you work hard, you will be treated well. But if you do not work hard, you will be punished. We are an island in the jungle. Escape is impossible. You die.
Oh, well, that makes sense. You're on an island. There's no escape. You will die. Yeah. So even if they were to take and do something, options are limited. It's not a great position to be in whatsoever.
You get the men to their quarters. Tell Clifton to see to his sick. I'm going to have a word with this fellow.
Very good.
The fact that the use of officers for manual labor is expressly forbidden by the Geneva Convention.
You're in no position, like, at all, at all for that. Read a room, maybe.
Sit down, please.
So they're looking to make any kind of changes to improve situations if possible. I mean, you're looking at the water dripping down.
Oh, sir, this is Commander Shears of the United States Navy.
Good.
How do you do, sir?
We found him.
And your group here?
Mostly Aussies, some Lime, some British, Indians, Burmese, Siamese. They died.
Stay with the officers, of course. And we'll scrape up some decent clothing.
Oh, don't bother about me, Colonel. I can think of a lot of things to call say to. But reasonable, that's a new one.
So he don't know what he's in for at all. And he knows it. He should say something, though. Like, he should be like, bro, just stop.
I've had a talk with Commander Shears.
There won't be any escape committee.
I don't understand, sir, Lieutenant.
That fellow Saito is right. No need for barbed wire here. 1 chance in 100 of survival.
The odds against survival in this camp are even worse. You've seen the graveyard. They're your real odds.
Singapore, we were ordered to surrender by command headquarters. Ordered, mind you. Escape might well be an infraction of law. I want everything to go off without a hitch, starting first thing tomorrow morning.
Lord why do I get the feeling this is going to be like, not only are these two going to bump heads, but he's about to take it either bad reality check the Colonel is, or he's about to take me to fateful end. One of the two, because just his ideas is, number one, just probably not going to work in a place to where you're disarmed and they aren't.
English prisoners! Notice, I do not say English soldiers. You will finish the bridge by the 12th day of May.
So, yeah, doesn't matter what you were wanting there, Colonel. Looks like he's trying to take and make sure you know you're not a soldier right now.
Time is short. Officer prisoners, collect their tools.
Ugly! Back in your place. I must call your attention, Colonel Saito, to Article 27 of the Geneva Convention. You see, the code specifically states that the... Diverse in the ranks!
Coward's code. What do you know of the soldier's code?
Uh-oh. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Please don't be dumb.
My officers will not do manual labor.
All enlisted prisoners to work!
He thinks he's going to take and do a power play here. It's not going to work at all, though. It doesn't seem, because, you know, you don't have guns. What is he not getting? I don't understand that. There'll be a lot of more dead people, all officers, if they don't take and shape up.
Looks like he doesn't want any witnesses.
Now, you will be reasonable. You will order your officers to work.
No.
The alternative seems less fun.
You and your officers are not on the way to work. I'll give the order to fire.
Believe me, he's really going to do it.
1.
I warn you, Colonel Saito.
Colonel Saito, I've seen and heard everything. So has every man in the hospital. There are too many witnesses. Is this your soldier's code? Murdering unarmed men?
Somehow I don't think that would actually play out like that. Just seems a little bit fantastical to think something like that. Like, it seems more like he'd have been thrown into the line to be given the 3 count. But there are more creative ways to get people to do what you want. So, Yeah, this ought to be interesting. And also be given the order that if you don't work, you don't eat. So
You see, Jennings, there's certain advantages to being on the sick list.
yeah, I don't think that'll. Surprised he hasn't just stuck his head out the door and given a 3 count. None of the soldiers are in the vicinity, so.
Come.
Well, I get the feeling anybody get a bad reality check. As if he shouldn't have already had one. Oh. Well. Like he got the piss beat out of him, probably. I mean, I don't know what he expects, and I get it. You've got a certain code that you try to take and go by. You got trying to take and go by law and all the civilization stuff. But the problem is you're no longer within civilization. You're playing by a whole new set of rules. Just because there's codifications of the way prisoners should be treated does not mean that it's going to be followed, especially during wartime. Because here's the thing. Even if there is a codification of a code of conduct that should be done during wartime, they can't do anything until after the war is over with to take and enforce or to take remedial action against the offender. So, what's the point? You get in a situation like that. Looks like a couple of them tried to escape at least. Oh, so he actually survived. Did he actually get shot though?
1, 2, 3, 4. No, no, no. Go.
You wish to see me?
I've been trying to see you for 3 days. It's about Colonel Nixon.
I could have you shot. Those prisoners who tried to escape, they were in your charge.
Because of your colonel's stubbornness, we are far behind the schedule. That is not all.
Perhaps the men don't work well without their own officers to direct them.
My officers will direct them. This is war. This is not a game of cricket.
I love that. This is war. This is not a game of cricket. I know back in previous times we had like gentlemanly wars is what they were called, where there were seasons for battle basically. And seasons where just kind of everything kind of happened where you either resupplied or, got a breather and stuff like that. With the invention of modern warfare, that went out the window. But yet they still want to take and apply old ways of warcraft to things. And I'm sorry, as much as you can try to put rules on something, how do you put rules on something like war to where the violence that happens and everything else, like I don't get it. I don't get it. Some things should be, leave civilians alone, whatever. But really, again, it's war. It's kind of hard to actually be like, oh, you can't do that. And it really, because all it takes is one person or one side not playing by the rules, and, well, then the other side's at a severe disadvantage.
Allow you one visit to your colonel. If his officers will not work, close the hospital.
That's a good way to get people to turn against you real quick.
I brought you a few things.
And the officers.
Oh, they're not so good. They're still in detention.
Blackmail.
He means it. I'm sure he does. It's a question of face, pure and simple. Wouldn't the officers be better off working than suffocating in that hole?
It's a matter of principle. If we give in now, there'll be no end to it. Give in, sir, please. I'm adamant.
Principle. It's nice to have principles. But you're a fucking idiot. Simple as that. You're a fucking idiot. Seems like the principality would be, the principle would be make sure there's not any more needless fucking deaths. You're going to be the cause of needless fucking deaths because of your principles. Get fucked.
Thank those concerned.
Goodbye, sir. Good luck.
Many thanks. Here is where we must win through.
The doc just looked at us, shook his head, whatever that means.
Colonel won't give in.
Well,
It's like this. Colonel Nicholson won't give in to force. It's a question of principle. Should a tragedy occur, it would be tantamount to murder.
He is responsible, not I.
I actually agree with the Japanese fella here. Your own stupidity and stubbornness is putting you in this position. The minute you got slapped and then the rules thrown out, you should know the rules don't fucking apply. You better find you some coconuts. That's all I'm going to say. You might want to pick that up. You're making up too much noise. Oh, you found a village.
申し訳ありません。こっち来てみろ。1、2、3、4、5本。15日で。これが最後の日だ。
Uh-oh. Is that when it's supposed to be completed? You don't look very happy there.
Why does the bridge not progress? You know why? Because you are officer. This is not just. Therefore, the bridge does not progress. I refer to Lieutenant Miura. He is the first engineer. He is unworthy of command. I shall be in personal command. Today, we rest.
Wait. Okay, so... Okay, this is definitely a ploy of some sort. But then again, I mean... Maybe he's trying to take and fight this in a wholly different way. Because all them officers is doing is taking and really just delaying the inevitable stuff. Granted, it's given the men resolve to do whatever, but yeah, it's not going to matter.
Let us be happy in our work. Company, dismiss.
Hey! This gives us our own Red Cross parcels!
Oh, he looked like death warmed over.
Good evening, Colonel. ここ行ってってよろしい。
外にあります。
Oh, this is torture in and of itself for him. Oh, he's actually going to feed him. So is he actually going to take and, like... Now I'm kind of like, alright, is he about to take and lay out what will happen here in a second? Or is he actually going to be like, alright, they're not going to work without you, so y'all will be commanded. I'm like, how is... Because to be honest with you, in a lot of cases, or I think probably in most cases, something like that would have happened at a POW camp. They'd have just shot the officers and just continued working the men to the death. Probably took in half or, even more, taking the rations down. So it's like he's going to at least get a piece of meat.
I intend to make a full report of your activities in this camp.
I do not think you quite realize my position. My orders are to complete the bridge by the 12th day of May.
Capacity.
But the officers are working along the entire railway. Only the junior officers to lend a hand.
I'm afraid not. The convention's quite clear on that.
Do you know what will happen to me? I'd have to kill myself. What would you do?
I'd have to kill myself.
Bro, the brazen defiance. Again, though, your situation doesn't lend you to be in any kind of position. All you're doing is delaying the inevitable. Because your presence and your lives still being spared and you being in that hot box is the only reason why really, really and truly things are going the way it's going. The minute you get taken out of the picture and the rest of your officers and possibly the rest of the officers, people that were officers in the military that are within that camp, it doesn't matter anymore. Because either you're going to work or you're going to die. And at that point, he might lose his life, but hey, y'all about to take and get worked over.
If I am to die, others will die before me.
I'm sure we can arrive at a proper solution. Please sit down. Do you or do you not agree that the first job of an officer is command?
Of course.
Good. Take this bridge of yours. I have grave doubts whether your Lieutenant, what's his name?
Miura.
Miura. I have officers, Reeves and Hughes, for instance, built bridges all over India.
Perhaps you are not aware that the bridge is now under my personal command. You are defeated, but you have no shame. You are stubborn, but have no pride.
And see, that's where that's where the whole misunderstanding, I think. You stubborn, but you have no. They're stubborn because of their pride. They're totally big difference. And just because you defeat them in one battle, shame doesn't come from that. It's more of them moving off the principles and the laws and the way their societies. Like, it's just, yeah, that completely backwards. At least his logic is. Whereas, because I know the Japanese culture is completely different. Right, I thought the other guy was the commander that I was talking about. Who is... I was like, he didn't try to actually escape, did he? That ain't the commander fella, is it? Yeah, actually that is. Okay, well. Unless all of the American actors are going to look the same in this one. Who knows? Or the ones portraying Americans. I don't know if I'd be trying that water. Good way to get dysentery. Oh yeah, he definitely looked like death warmed over now for sure. And still, just a simple defiance in the way he's walking right now. And he can barely hold himself up. Sight to behold, truly.
The anniversary of our great victory over Russia in 1905. You and your officers may return to your quarters. It will not be necessary for officers to do manual labor.
Is this a one-day thing, or like...
He's done it.
We've still got over an hour and a half. Why do I get the feeling that... not going to be a great play out for him? I think that is one of the things that, as far as during this time period, the Japanese severely underestimating or just missing the mark on understanding American or British or a lot of just the European culture and the way things are done. This right here being a portrayal of the British, not only tenacity, because you got to be pretty, number one, tenacious in your beliefs on your principles, but also, too, that indomitable spirit that's held there. Also, the arrogance and stubbornness that comes along with it. Because, look, 113,000, 90% of y'all are British, and I love y'all to death, but y'all are some arrogant bastards at times. Like, massively fucking arrogant. Granted, you've got 2,000, 3,000 years of history, but still, like, y'all are some arrogant pricks at times. Just gonna throw that out there. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times y'all think y'all know better than anything. And while at times you might be right, situations like this, it makes you just go, bruh, read the room. But at least momentarily, for the officers, it's a victory of optics. Oh, he's losing it. But he's got so much at stake. I mean, I get his position.
Somebody deserves a medal, sir.
We must put a stop to these demonstrations.
Yes, sir.
I say, Reeves,
Yes, sir?
have you ever constructed a bridge across a stream like the Kwai? If this were your bridge, how would you get it underway?
First of all, I wouldn't build it here. Japanese couldn't have picked a worse location. There's no bottom. You see those piles? They're sinking.
Where would you build it?
Further downstream, sir. Across those narrows. And we'd have solid bedrock on both banks.
I tell you, gentlemen, we have a problem on our hands. Thanks to the Japanese, we now command a rabble. We can teach these Europeans a lesson in Western methods and efficiency that will put them to shame. I realize how difficult it's going to be in this godforsaken place where you can't find what you need. I know our men. You've got to keep them occupied. If there weren't any work for them to do, we'd invent some.
That's military is good for. Oh, there's nothing to do. Let's create something for them.
It's essential that they should take a pride in their job.
So now you're going to get hand in hand. If the Japanese guy allows it, C2, if he allows it, like, you're going to have hand in hand stuff here. Like, he's still with the military stuff. So he's about to take and whip the... He's about to whip these, I guess, try to whip these fellas into shape. I'm guessing probably have the engineer talk about what should happen, and then, yeah, that's... But I'm kind of I mean, probably beneficial for all, because if not, the end result could be disastrous if Home Dude has to take and kill himself, and they have to take and get another person there, and he could just wipe them all out and disregard everything. So, yeah, I mean, symbiotic relationship here, maybe?
We must draw up our plans, then arrange a conference with Saito and set him straight.
Again, that
takes care
arrogance.
of all the procedural matters. We feel the position of the bridge was fixed rather hastily, and, I have to add, incorrectly. Major Reeves, our engineer, has made a careful study of the site and has come to the conclusion that the river bottom there is too soft.
Colonel Saito, I've made 10. That bridge would collapse under the first train to cross it.
Colonel, do you suppose we could have a cup of tea?
Oi, what's up?
In the middle of a meeting, can we have a cup of tea? Y'all fucking British. I swear to God, that's the problem. That's just the way it's like, bro, that's such a... God. The most British thing out of any of the movies so far that I think I've heard, just right in the middle of a meeting. Get some tea.
We build a new bridge at the site selected by Major Reeves, 400 yards downstream. I've decided to alter the daily work quota of our men.
Alter?
Yes, I've increased it. So I must ask you, Colonel Saito, to lend us some of your own men to reinforce the railway gang.
I have already given the order. Can you finish the bridge in time?
We'll certainly give it a go.
Hope these Japanese appreciate what we're doing for them.
At the moment, I'm not concerned with their appreciation.
Home Dude the boat make it to an embassy?
For an American named Commander Shears.
Oh, yes. Down on the beach?
Oh, thank you very much.
That's the relaxation.
Too many eyes.
Commander Shears?
Yes.
My name's Ward.
How do you do?
I'm sorry. I belong to a rather rum group called Force 316. Our headquarters is up in the Botanical Garden. Among other things, we have a particular interest in that railway you worked on. You could help us in a rather special sense. I know it's a terrible imposition, but...
So, Home Dude's done found him, he floated into a hospital, it seems like. Or at least was taken to a hospital, and now it's R&R and beachfront and a beauty. So, a special force. I'm guessing are they going to try to take and get the people out, or try to convince him to stay to help?
Major Wharton's bungalow is at the end of the pathway, sir.
All right, thanks.
Colonel Green is looking forward to meeting you.
Oh?
Fascinating place, isn't it?
Utterly charming. What do you do here, Major?
Well, sabotage, demolition, that line of country. We're using PE. It's completely waterproof and actually plastic. See? You can do what you like. Now, here is the River Kwai, and here is the Siamese village where you were helped. It's too far for bombers to carry an adequate load, so we shall have to go in and smash it up on the ground. Colonel Green has given me the Kwai Bridge. I'm going to take a team in and blow it up.
He's got no, and I'm not quite understanding the like his lack of concern or interest or whatever. It seems like he'd want to take and get other soldiers out. But, and maybe he's just wanting to try to take and wash his hands of the entire situation itself, which is also very, I don't know how long he was held, but, that kind of makes sense too.
Well, that is only one question, actually. How would you feel about going back?
You mean to tell me that that's why you brought me here? To ask me this?
Well, frankly, yes.
I can't go back. I don't belong to you. I belong to the American Navy.
Yes, of course. Yes, your navies turned you over to us.
I was about to say, which means you're inexplicably fucked. That's exactly what that means. We've already taught your people. Oh, shit. Yeah, that means you're probably going to go whether you like it or not, because you're under their command now. So, yeah. Bro, that has to be, for him at least, a kick in the nuts. Because, just barely made it out of there. Was luckily picked up by their folks. And was recouped and had some R&R. But now he's, we've already talked to your people. I'm an American soldier anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're screwed now, cuz. You're screwed.
Signal arrived yesterday morning from your CNC Pacific, authorizing your temporary transfer of...
My Navy's made a mistake.
Oh?
I'm not a Navy commander. I'm not even an officer. When the Houston sunk, I made it ashore with an officer. A real commander.
You changed uniforms with a dead man.
Kind of got used to being a commander, and so when I arrived here, let it ride along for a while. When the Navy brass learns the truth about me, they'll say, ship him home in irons for impersonating an officer, something like that. I'll apply for a medical discharge. I'll tell them that I impersonated an officer because I went off my rocker, and my Navy finds out who I am. Those temporary orders you've got won't be worth the paper they're written on.
This is your photograph, isn't it?
Oh, you're in trouble now.
But finally, your CNC Pacific sent us a copy of your service record. See, we've known about your actual rank for nearly a week. Your Navy's in an awkward position. I suppose that's why they were so happy to hand you over to us. You see?
Bro, he is. Oh, he's up the creek without any kind of paddle, and he realizes it just a wee bit too late after all the gloating of his plan. He didn't think this one through at all.
So you'll have the simulated rank of major.
Simulated major. That figures. As long as I'm hooked, I might as well volunteer.
This is Major Shears. He's just volunteered to go back and help me blow up the Kwai Bridge.
So this is taking an interesting turn now, to say the least. Interesting, and that's quite comical. I'm going to be honest with you. That's quite funny. Because he had everything worked out. They're like, yeah, it's not going to happen like that. Because just a simple thing of like, yeah, we've known for a week. That's one of those like, holding all the cards and not revealing them until you absolutely have to. He's got a horrible poker face, that's for sure.
How's he behaving?
I must say he's been most reasonable since we took over.
I haven't the foggiest. He seems to like that little phrase. The fact that, number one, where they were building at in the beginning and now where they've got it set at, don't have to have as many. Yeah, it makes a whole lot more sense. The interesting dynamic on this, too, between not only the soldier, the Japanese colonel, but also the British colonel here. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Because, one, in a way, that colonel lost face massively, and that's in culture over there. That's shameful, losing face like that, having to take and give in, and that's something he's having to take and live with. While at the same point in time, the British general and his principals took and kind of won out. But you can only have two egos in a power play like that for so long before something tips the wrong way.
Sir, are you convinced that building this bridge is a good idea?
Are you serious? Don't agree that the men's morale is high, the discipline has been restored, that their condition has been improved?
What we're doing could be construed as, forgive me, sir, collaboration with the enemy.
Prisoners of war, we haven't the right to refuse work.
I understand that, sir, but
Must we?
What? But you refused work on the fact of... Granted, the semantics here, right? There are semantics to this, and there's some nuance to it because of the Geneva Conventions and all that, and trying to uphold letter of the law and all that good stuff, but can't refuse work, really? And you refused work? Come on now, cuz.
If you had to operate on Saito, would you do your best or would you let him die? Don't you realize how important it is to show these people that they can't break us in body or in spirit?
I mean, he makes a fair point on every bit of that. Not even gonna lie. I'm sure they're probably fed better and treated better and everything of that nature.
I'm awfully sorry I'm late, sir.
4 minutes late, to be exact. You were in need of medical attention? Now, the main reason I asked you here today was to help us pick the 4th member of your team. Ask Mr. Joyce to come in. In a job like yours, even when it's finished, there's always one more thing to do. These gentlemen are thinking of taking you for a little hike into the jungle.
Yes, sir. In '39, I came over to London to enlist, and about 2 years later, I volunteered for this work. The regular army sort of reminded me of my job in civilian life. They don't expect you to think.
Could you use it in cold blood? Could you kill without hesitation?
I don't honestly know, sir. I've tried to imagine myself. I suppose I find it hard to kid myself that killing isn't a crime.
What's your opinion, Shears?
If he wants to go that bad, he can even take my place.
You've had parachute training, of course.
No, sir.
Last. This is awkward.
He's trying his damnedest to get out of this, and it just is not going as he needs at all.
It's almost as if your whole escape had been planned with us in mind.
They say in view of the time element, they don't think a few practice jumps would be worthwhile.
No?
That the most sensible thing for Major Shears to do is to go ahead and jump and hope for the best. Guy says we'll never reach the Kwai by the route you took. There are too many Japanese patrols now. He says it's dangerous to spend the night in the village. There's an enemy post about 3 miles away.
Will someone tell me why I'm so indispensable to this outfit?
I know how you feel.
And the bad thing for him is the fact that he's not wanting to do it, but he's also in a position to where even now, like he's a soldier and he's having to take and do whatever's going to be needed. The fact that they can't even go back the way that he come through and have to go through heavier jungle, like how is that going to take an effect? How long are they supposed to be in country for? And also, what's that take and do for the British and the rest of the soldiers that are already at that camp once they take and like that's kind of, yeah. I mean, maybe it's just to take and put a wrinkle in things because now there's a section that has to be replaced. Here's my question. How much further out of the way was it than taking and going the way? Because it seems like they're running into no issues whatsoever. And now they're even out of the jungle part.
What's wrong with that thing, Joyce?
It's wet, mildewed, corroded, rotten. You might as well dump it.
Your friendliest enemy, reminding you to take it easy.
I've got it all decoded, sir. New construction downstream from first sight. 2, you should synchronize demolition with passage this train. 4, good hunting, have fun. That's all, sir.
It's worth having a go for the train, don't you think?
Oh, by all means. Good hunting.
Look at the support pillars on that. Holy crap.
I've just spoken with Reeves and Hughes, and we're not going to finish the bridge on time.
Oh.
Just haven't the manpower, that's all.
Look here, sir. There's not a man in this hospital who doesn't belong there.
Now, don't jump to conclusions. What's the matter with Haskins?
He's got amoebic dysentery and blackwater fever. His temperature was 104.
Tell me, you feel up to doing a little light work on the bridge?
Anything you say, sir?
Now, look here, men. But we are facing a crisis. Those of you who feel up to it, how about lending the others a hand, eh?
How many of them are going to take and get up and go? Oh, damn. Well, I'm pretty sure the doctor probably didn't expect all that. Boy, you get the back. Bro, that man, great God, he got the lady. Doesn't matter his situation, he's pulling something apparently. Jesus. That's one of those looks and charisma or something has to be, what do they call it these days? Pretty privilege? Except he had handsome privilege and he's in the middle of a jungle. Unfortunately, that's a good way to get caught. But now you're going to have missing men, and they're going to know that somebody is sneaking up on their position. The bridge would inevitably be the target, which is you'd have more patrols and stuff and people guarding it. So, hey, yay.
Go that way, Joyce.
They don't really do tension in modern movies the way that they were able to take and build up tension and just the portrayal of just through situations that leads to the tension. The way they did in older movies. At all. Apparently he's a pretty decent tracker. I mean, bruh, I understand that as a younger person, but at the same point in time, you can't be just gotta do the kill. You can't just stand there and stare at them because that gives them an opportunity to kill you. Or if you let them get away, your mission is gone. There's no more mission. There's no more objective. You've lost that point at that point.
I could have done it. I was ready.
No, it's superficial. Maybe a chipped bone, but there's nothing broken.
Oh yeah, it's bad if you gotta cut the shoe off.
What are you doing? I didn't give orders for a halt. We all need it.
When the job's done, who knows if we can return by this route or whether we could find you if we did.
You'll go on without me. That's an order. You're in command now, Shears.
I won't obey that order.
I'm not going to leave you here to die, Warden, because I don't care about your bridge, and I don't care about your route.
Run, run! Let's get closer.
Don't want to get too much closer. They'll put you to work on the damn thing. I think I'd want to, be from a safe distance.
Feeling better?
Yeah.
You're in command again now, you know.
Not like the temporary bridges the enemy usually throws together. No.
They've got a British officer working down there on his knees. The Japanese seem to be enjoying it, too.
Oh, no, no. See, I don't have the lay of the land anymore. At all. This is done with pride. By the British soldier. Or officer.
We'll set the charges against the piles about 3 feet under the water. That's our key position. It's on the wrong side of the river, but it's the only hiding place. Well, it looks like your line of country then.
Thank you, sir.
Shears, you'll have to pick a spot on our side of the bank where you can cover. I'll set up the mortar here to create an additional diversion if necessary. I will take 3 women to help you build the raft. 1 will stay here with me. I'd let you stay up here with the mortar if I could. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, that's a lot of time to be sitting still and not being discovered. Well, I say sitting still to be making noise by building rafts and not being discovered. They're pushing their luck. Lord have mercy, that British colonel's gonna take and he's admiring it with pride. I mean, rightfully so, but could gum up the works if he ain't careful.
Yes, beautiful. A first-rate job. I've been thinking, tomorrow it will be 28 years to the day that I've been in the service. I don't suppose I've been at home more than 10 months in all that time. Still, it's been a good life. I love India. Suddenly you realize you're nearer the end than the beginning. What the sum total of your life represents. What difference your being there at any time made to anything. But I must admit I've had some thoughts on those lines from time to time. Tonight, I must be off. The men are preparing some sort of entertainment.
Alright, so what do we, like, it's about to come to a head here. Oh, Lord have mercy. They got dancing. Lord have mercy. Well, now it's anticipation. Does this go off? They just floating that raft down the river. Again, this is too much. Like, there's too much time in between things. And, some fast-moving water, to be honest with you. Good thing there ain't no more dang rocks. Well, if they don't lose half their stuff, I'll be surprised.
Go on loving in the same old way.
That's quite a stark departure from what you normally see with movies on POWs and stuff like that. Like, stark departure. Well, this is a critical moment right here. It's a critical time because now they got to take and do all this without making a sound, drawing attention. They got two guards up there on the bridge. If one of them happens to look straight down or takes notice, they are SOL. And the whole plan goes upriver, literally. The tension again building because we got it's finished. They're trying to demolish it and time. The fact they've made it over there is something. Now he's got to make it all the way back over. Oh, Lord have mercy. And the question is, does he get caught? Or any of them found? That's what I'm waiting on. It's just...
Except to wish you a long and happy life.
Thank you.
I know you gotta hope you weren't found out before then. Bro, this is such a long... Like, the fact that... I understand the 4 people. It's, you know, light, quick. Too many people would draw eyes.
The river's gone down.
Oh, this is no bueno. Gonna see all that cord.
You can see the wire.
going to be thoroughly confused by this probably if I had to venture a guess, because they're whistling the whole way up there.
Do it now.
Just get off the bridge. Don't say anything. Just get off the bridge. Oh, he about to mess it all up. You can see it in his face. He's incredulous.
Colonel, there's something rather odd going on. I think we better have another look round.
You better hurry up and...
Colonel Saito, have you a knife? I've just realized the bridge has been mined. Good boy. British Commando orders, sir. Blow up the bridge. Yes, sir. Look out, there's no... No! Let me go, sir. You don't understand, sir. Kill him! Kill him, George!
You better go jump on it, dude. Come on. I don't know if there's ever been a better way to take a fall on something than that right there. Jesus Christ. I understand being proud of your handiwork, but you see a fellow British soldier, you don't try to stop him and cause his death. Just throwing it out there. And you should know that doing this would actually help your cause, regardless of whatever situation you're currently in.
I had to do it. I had to do it. They might have been captured alive.
Well, you're going to see the commander over there and be like,
Madness.
Quite a good movie. I tell you what, this is one of those ones where I have complete departure from most movies where you see POW camps, because it's horrific conditions most of the time and they're planning escapes and stuff like that. This one right here, no, and the colonel, the English colonel, man, they got the job done, right? And I understand he was proud of it. The fact that it ended the way it did, with him basically being the reason that 2 more British soldiers died, and then it looks like he dies himself and falls very fittingly on the plunger to take and blow up the bridge that he just commanded basically to be built or oversaw the construction of. The play between the characters in this, specifically the 2 colonels, one's, dogged determination and principle over one's honor and job. Just the way this played out, man, like it showed, I don't know, it showed that indomitable spirit winning out, and they both had it was like at least a working relationship. I don't know if they ever took and got a healthy respect for each other, but the British definitely, it improved their morale and it gave them a sense of purpose and all that stuff like that. But it also just, the seemingly worthless nature of it all at the end of it, seeing as it was all seemingly for naught. Basically, it was built. It got built just in enough time for the bridge, for the train to come across, and the bridge to be blown up as it's coming across. Like, holy crap! Now that the guy that plays Shears, commander or then major, the fact that he had been there for a long time and then winds up dying back over there after taking escaping and having a little bit of R&R, the fact that the Navy's like, yeah, no, y'all can have them. We're good. And the planning that went into actually blowing up the bridge. But I will say this, that colonel, he did improve the standing, or at least the well-being of his soldiers, by taking, not being killed, number one, but number two, also taking command of them taking and doing the work and stuff like that. It was done more efficiently, but also it kept the morale high, which in POW camps you're going to need the higher morale, so that way, that's already bad. In a bad situation, you have bad thoughts and stuff like that. Dark thoughts creep in because of the situation. Well, might try to escape more than just physically. And, one of the most English English things ever was that, can we have some tea in the middle of that meeting? But also the way the British, the portrayal of the British in this, the colonel himself, it's just very much on the nose, in my opinion, because, yeah, it's principle, duty, and law of order civilization. They definitely, they got the job done, and it helped be the guiding principle that he used. Very good movie. I enjoyed this. Really good. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.